kind of ridiculous. So I haven't done this for a while, and it's Beltane today. So let's feel what this energy is gonna do. Odie, what's up with you? You look really scared. I'm just gonna let people come in. Gotta get some water. I got half an hour before I have to go pick up my kid. I haven't really had too much of a chance to feel this energy today. I was out in the woods, and actually I was given, so hey guys, I was given some pretty cool gifts today. I got a skull. I love it when skulls show up for me. And if you don't know, I'm Emma Smallbone. Hi! I'm a forest whisperer from Canada, and I'm a healer in my ancestors' traditions. One of the things that I do is create intuitive artwork, and this has been in the process since the beginning of the year. And I really feel like the energy's shifting and changing again. So I just wanted to come and add to it and see what we get. The last time I worked on it, these stairs came out, and it was really this piece about when you start, the stairs are kind of uneven and shaky, and the more that you step into what you're supposed to be doing, the clearer your path becomes. So it's interesting because I'm getting almost, I don't want to say the shedding's over, but it's like now we have to say, okay, we know there's a power struggle. We know that things are hard right now. But now what can we do to make our lives better? Like, you know, my whole thing has always been clean up your own hearth. Like, focus on what's going on in your own life. So then once you kind of bring those, and I never want to say balance because I don't think balance exists. But I do want to say that, you know, that ebb and flow, that natural ebb and flow, that is something that we literally have to like kind of jump on. You see it coming and you see it going and you see it like, yeah, this good energy's, and it's like you just have to go wait until it hits and then jump on it. And really, for me, that's what the wild healing was. Everybody said to me, oh, Emma, when you find your thing, you're gonna know. And I still remember years ago, hey everybody, thanks for joining. Years ago, I saw Diamond John speak. He's actually a really inspiring speaker. And the one thing that stuck out to me was he said, when you're in flow, you know, and you just get out of its way. And that's the piece. I think a lot of people get into the flow and then try to control it. They get into this space where they're feeling comfortable, and instead of just letting it flow, instead of just letting it show you where you're supposed to be going, you try to control it. And that's where we kind of lose our balance. And that's where we have to kind of come back into, oh, you can't see Odie yet. Oh, there he is. Odie, come here so they can see you. Hey, I can't lift him up anymore. So this is the piece of when you step down into this power, when you realize what it is that you should be doing, you literally have to step back and say, okay, this step is structured like this. This is where I feel my most stable. Now let's look at this structure. And why do I feel more stable here than there? And then say, okay, I've got that information and now I can continue to build the steps. Yeah, they're not going to stay the same. Your life never stays the same. I will tell you, this is one of the things that drives people crazy. You think you get into flow and then you just stay there and it's good. And everything no, that's not how it works at all. There is a constant movement. It's the constant ebb and flow. And that's the piece where people are like, no, I've mastered this. Now it has to stay exactly like this. And you don't leave room for that creative mess to come in. And you don't leave room for yourself to show up in there. You just try to recreate it all the time. And you're like, oh God, I better hold on to this, and I better keep making it look exactly the same. And for me, that's where I get into trouble, is when the creative flow starts and then I go, oh my God, this looks really amazing. Let's just stop. And then it's like, oh, it's gone. No, to just keep going. You know, I think that's one of the pieces that I've learned from especially doing these bigger pieces of artwork, which I've never really done, is that you have to let it go. You can't say, oh my God, like there was an eye in here. I saw a video of this the other day, and there was this gorgeous eye in here at the beginning of this creation. And if I had just said, oh, that's it, I've created what I want to create, this would have never come out of it. And sometimes you're doing something and you're like, oh my God, this looks amazing. And then you slip and you go, oh shit, I fucked it up. But did you really fuck it up? Or was that slip supposed to happen so you could solve a problem? So you could slow down for a second and go, wait, is that perfection? Does it need more time? And when you start playing in that space of, you know, I don't know what perfection is anymore. Like I've honestly stepped out of this space of wanting to create anything for anybody else, and I just create for me. So what is my idea of perfection? Or what is my idea of what I want the world to see? And honestly, I don't even know. Like, so if you don't know what that is, you just have to leave yourself open. You have to let yourself play. Like, I truly think play is the place where we find our true passions. Like, I went and took a neurobiology course at the local university because I needed my brain to move in a different way. And as soon as I started doing that, I was able to create again. And trust me, that neurobiology class, you know, it was inspiring, but it's not like I sat there and went, oh my God, I want to create art. It wasn't, that's not what it was doing, but it was creating these new connections in my brain that then allowed me to see these steps, because my brain couldn't see those before I took that class. So we have to step outside of our comfort zones. We have to engage with things in a new, different way if we want new, different things. You cannot do the same thing over and over and over again. You know, when I started coming back to social media, I thought, well, how can I do this in a way that works for me so I don't burn myself out so severely again? And honestly, I love these little videos because I jump on and I do them when I'm feeling the energy, and stuff comes out, and sometimes it's brilliant and sometimes it's just what ifs. But I know there's a purpose in it. Even if it's for the one person that I don't even know is watching, and you got something out of it and I have no idea. It doesn't matter, because I'm showing up, I'm moving my energy, and in a way, somehow it connected with you wherever you are in the world, and that was needed right in this moment. I've done my job. Like, honestly, just start doing things, because you never know where it's gonna lead. You never know what connections are going to happen and what conversations that's going to lead to. And I truly believe that every single time I do something like this, or I do something in my woods, I got some really like, hell yeah messages from the woods today They gave me a skull. I'll post some pictures. I got a skull. I got 3 trilliums growing out of my one altar on the property. To me, when I get these responses from nature, it gives me the confidence to continue doing this. And I know to some people that makes absolutely no sense because you don't right now have a relationship with nature in that way. I have always had it. I've never been separate from it. Every day I communicated with trees, even when I lived in the city. People are missing out when they just walk by trees. People are missing out when they just walk by a patch of grass and don't acknowledge it. When I started really engaging with the land and with the energy that exists here, that's when my life got better, because I was co-creating with everything around me. And co-creation really is the only way. You know, if you come and see me as a healer, it's not me healing you, it's me opening up some energy and some space for you to heal. And if you choose to do that and you align with what I'm offering to you, you can start to heal. And because I have this ability to see whatever is in your body, whether it's a thought form or whether it's something that's actually making you sick, I'm able to pinpoint it faster than most people. I was actually at the allergist with my son today, and I had already come up with a solution for his allergy issues before the doctors had. And the allergist was like, well, whatever you're doing is working. And I was like, I know, because I figured out that his nervous system was connected to all of his issues. And as soon as we started to regulate his nervous system, his allergies got better. Shocking. And no, I don't think regulating your nervous system fixes everything like some people out there. But I will tell you, when you are regulated and you can stay in your body when you get angry, the world gets so much better. I was never able to do that before. And even sometimes now when I get passionate when I'm talking about things, I kind of, like my son today when I was talking to the allergist, because I got excited about their neurological system and then your like endocrine, like all the different systems and how they're all layered, and I started getting, and my son's like, because when you get an autistic individual on a certain topic that they are passionate about, it is very hard to turn it off. And it is very hard to see that, like, hey, maybe we should be doing something else right now instead of talking about this. And I'm now also okay with that. I'm not embarrassed by it, that I get excited about these things, that I, Henry's like, can you just let the doctor do his job? And I'm like, no, I want to have a conversation about, about systems, because I'm autistic, and that is where you will see me in my most Sheldon, is when I'm talking about something to do with a system. Any kind of system, your nervous system, your neurological system, like all of it. I get so excited. And some people think it's craziness, and for me, it's just passion. So, Beltane is all about looking at what we need to kind of like bring into the world and what we want to let go of. And right now, I want to help people realize there are different ways to heal. So today in my community, probably later today, I'm not actually sure when I'm going to do it, I'm going to start talking about the burnout book that I created for myself to keep myself in my body when I'm getting dysregulated. And I want to help you create one of those so you can actually, when you're in that moment of dysregulation, you pull out your burnout book and go, oh my God, breathe. Lower my shoulders, relax my jaw. Okay, what do I do next? Drink some water. Okay. And it really can be that basic, but you can also put things in it that help you decipher a question that you have, like, do I need to logic this out or do I need to feel it? And of course, we usually know we have to feel it, but sometimes, as an autistic individual, I have to logic things out. It's the way that I learn. So I have to process a lot more than the regular person. And it's a lot. It's a lot to remember. And for me, only having 10% working memory means that I forget everything. So I have to have little books with me everywhere. And I'll actually have a pile of them to show when I do the video about this, because I literally either have to photograph it or I have to write it down to be able to remember it. And it took me a really long time to even realize that I was in this cycle of not remembering. And it literally was like, Emma, do you not see the pattern? And it wasn't until I had a community that like would hold the mirror up to me and say, Emma, hey, like, you're doing it again. Do you see it? And I'd be like, oh shit, yeah, I totally see it. This is ridiculous. We need that community part. We need the part where we're doing the thing and we're spiraling and somebody can say, hey, wait, this is like, remember we did this before? Here's the book, do this. And if we can support each other doing that, we have less of this dysregulation. We can take care of our kids better because co-regulation is a thing. And if you're neurodivergent and your kid is neurodivergent and you're both dysregulated, good luck. So it's our job as parents to create this safe space for our families, for our loved ones. And if we're not feeling safe, how can they feel safe? And really, that is what all of my work is about finding safety in your own body, finding sovereignty in your own body, that I feel like I am in my own power. And I truly do feel like Beltane is that energy where we kind of claim back, like, I can actually now plant food in the ground and create some abundance so I can thrive. It's like, this is the time of action. I always look at the winter months and early spring as this time where I'm just going inward and I'm looking at what maybe I want to change or what has to change. And then as soon as Beltane comes along, or Samhain in the southern hemisphere, I really start to go like, okay, now it's time for action. So in the southern hemisphere, you're just about to go into that internal time and we're just waking up. So when you wake up that energy, we need to give it something to do. If you wake up that energy and just go, oh, it gets wasted. And like, that's what all of this was about before. If you want to see all of the channelings of this, I actually have a playlist and you can watch from the beginning, the creation of this. But we have to really acknowledge that even though there is a pattern, even though there is something that keeps us stable, we have to be okay with that changing. We have to be okay with that structure maybe shifting and ebbing and flowing. And I think for me, I got to a really great place where everything was working and then it all changed. And that completely disrupted my life. It took over everything and I was really rattled. I don't want to be there again. So creating a burnout book, doing this work and having this creativity is a way for me to be able to create that stability in my own life. And I want you to be able to do the same thing. So if you liked anything I had to say, if you want to maybe find that stability in yourself in a really creative way, come and join the Wild Healing, where there are so many divergent thinkers that are going through the same thing. You do not have to be outgoing. There are some people in there that never say boo, but they are going through the course and doing the work because it is important. It is important for us to move our energy through our bodies Because I will tell you, if you're neurodivergent, there is trauma in that body from having to exist in a typical world, whether you know it or not. So I want you to come to the Wild Healing. It is free. And then you can learn how to live divergently and truly be wild and free. So come and join me. I'm a Smallbone. I'm a forest whisperer from Canada who heals in her ancestral ways. Come and join us. Maybe it'll change your life. Bye for now, wildlings.